What is up, everyone? It's JDog406 coming back for another coin roll hunting video. And today we're getting into another box of nickels. So hopefully there's some pretty good stuff in here. And if we come right down here, we do have one ender. It's a 1949, so I'm hoping for a Denver or a San Francisco on that. And if it's a San Francisco, it would be a key date. So we know we already have one good coin right now. Hopefully there's more than just this ender. So other than that, let's go ahead and get into this and see what we can find. Alright, we're getting into our first roll right here with that 1949 on the end. Hopefully there's some more in there, but I'm really interested to see what mint markers on this. So let's go ahead and unwrap this and see what it is. Very nice looking. It's got a little bit of ring damage right here that you can see on the head and on his chest. It's just the Philadelphia. The most common one for that year, but it's still nice to have an ender. So let's go ahead and put this one down and move on. And I don't think there's going to be anything else here in this roll. So other than that, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, we're getting into the second roll right here. Nothing too interesting on the ends, but I'm really hoping that we can get our second find of the box in this one. Let's go ahead and get it open. And I don't think we're going to be having anything in this one. So other than that, let's go ahead and move on to the next roll, and hopefully there's something there. Alright, I'm getting into this third roll, and I'm hoping I can get a war nickel out of it. I'm really hoping. I kind of feel it. Maybe it could be in here, but who knows. Alright, it looks like we could have an older one right here. And it's going to be a Philadelphia if it is. 1940 Philadelphia. Pretty common, but it was almost that war nickel range. 2 more years and it would have been silver. Alright, let's go ahead and put this one down. And I don't think there's going to be anything else here, so other than that, let's go ahead and move on, and I'll tune you guys in on the next find. Alright, we're getting into the fourth roll. Ooh. Alright, so this is a goodie right here. We got a 2024 Denver nickel right here. Very nice. Super low mintage, and they go for about $3 to $5 depending on the condition. But this one's a little bit beat up. It probably wouldn't go for that much, maybe $2 at max. And if this is a Denver, I won't be keeping it, but if it is a Philadelphia, I will be keeping it. Nope, it's a Denver, so I will be throwing it back. And the reason for it is the Denver is a fairly high mintage compared to the Philadelphia, which is under 60 million minted. And yeah, so other than that, let's go ahead and move on. Alright, we're getting into the fifth roll. Oh, we got another 2024 Denver. Alright, so if I start seeing a whole bunch of these, I won't include all the clips of them, just because it might become too much, but if I only find a couple more, then you'll see all of them. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this one to the side as well. Oh yeah, this is what I like to see. I like to see my nickels down in the 30s, especially in the Jefferson. Alright, so we got a 1939 right here. It's probably going to be a Philadelphia, but on the small chance that we got a Denver or a San Francisco, which are both really low mintages. Let's go ahead and flip this one over in 3, 2, 1. It's just the Philadelphia. That's alright. Let's go ahead and put this one to the side and see what else we can get. Alright, we're getting into roll number 7, and I almost forgot that I bought some of these. So these are Nitro Finger Cots. You can get them on Amazon. You can get like 100 of them for about $10. And yeah, they're kind of like a little finger condom. You just slide it on, and bam. It's all done. Say you didn't want to wear a full glove. Say you just got one finger that gets really, really dirty. And yeah, now you don't got to scrub that finger. You just wear this one thing, and your hands aren't all sweaty because you're wearing an entire glove. So yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and get into this 7th roll. Another 2024. And one right behind it. Very nice. And I don't think there's anything else other than those two 2024s in there. So other than that, I'll tune you guys in on the next finds. Alright, we're getting into the 10th roll right here. Ooh, look at what we got here. We got a Denver on the reverse, and it looks like it's going to be a bit older. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it's not a 64. Alright, we got a little bit of a better date. 1948 Denver right there. Very nice. Alright, we're getting into the 11th roll. Oh, alright. This one looks pretty good. We got a San Francisco right there. So, those are pretty hard to come by. I believe this can be 1954 and before. So, hopefully we can get something good out of it. 1947 San Francisco. Alright. Very nice. I'm not sure how low of a mintage that is, but I know that's a decently low mintage. Let's go ahead and move on. Alright, we're getting into the 14th roll. Alright, look at that right there. 1942, right off the pick. I kind of looked down and seen that there was a little bit of a darker edge right there, as you can see, compared to a normal nickel. That's what I seen right there. Not too much of a difference. But look at that. We got a Philadelphia, so we did get the 35% silver. So in 1942, it was a split year. They did make some silver and some non-silver. The ones that aren't silver, I think generally go for more than the ones that are silver. So other than that, though, that's a beautiful looking coin right there. Very nice to be finding our first piece of silver. So other than that, though, let's go ahead and move on. Alright, we're getting into the 15th roll right here. Can we get another silver war nickel? Let's go ahead and find out. Ooh. Alright, so we got a 1951 San Francisco right there. Very nice. It was close to being a key date. If it could have been a 1950, either Philadelphia or Denver, I would have been very, very happy as well. But this still excites me. You don't see a 51 San Francisco every day. Alright, we're getting into the 20th roll. Ooh, we got a Denver Mint mark. It's probably going to be a 64, just looking at the reverse. It's a 63. It's close enough to a 64. Let's get that out of here. Alright, we're getting into the 21st roll. Ooh, we got a 1958 right here. Can we get the low mintage Philadelphia? Nope, we just got the common Denver. Alright, we're getting into the 22nd roll. Oh, we got another chance at that low mintage Philadelphia for the 1958. Nope, another Denver. Alright, we're getting into the 25th roll. This is the halfway point. We've already found quite a bit of good stuff. There's quite a bit of 2024 Denvers down here as well. You guys will get to see them all at the end of the video. But other than that, yeah, I'd say this is a good half of the box. Hopefully the next half is just as good. And we just got one 2024 Denver in here right now. I'll double check and see if there's any more, but yeah, that's all we really found on roll 25. So other than that, let's go ahead and move on to roll 26. Right, we're getting into the 30th roll. Oh, look at what we got right here. So we got a 1956 Philadelphia. Very nice. I'm almost certain that's the more rare one than the Denver one. So very nice. Let's go ahead and put this one down. We're getting into the 31st roll right here. It's something I just noticed on it when I was picking it up. Let's look at what we got on the end. We've got a 2024 Ender, and it could possibly be a full roll. You never know. But I can always hope that it is, even though I know it's probably not gonna be. Yep, got that nice 2024 Denver on the end. It doesn't seem to be a full roll. Right, I don't think there's anything else in there. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, we're getting into the 33rd roll. Ooh, what do we got right here? We got a San Francisco on the reverse. Very nice, so hopefully we can get a key date out of this. Let's go ahead and flip this over in 3, 2, 1. Alright, we got a 1946 San Francisco right there. Very slick down, but still a nice looking coin. Let's go ahead and put this one to the side. Right, we're getting into the 35th roll. Ooh, we got another chance for that low mintage 58. Nah, we got another Denver. Right, we're getting into the 37th roll. One right there. Don't know exactly what coin it was since everything kind of fell forward. But we got a 1946 right here. San Francisco, we got two of them in the box. All right. Those are low mintages, so I do love to see them. All right, we're getting into the 40th roll. Ooh, What do we got right here? We got another 1946. Is it going to be another San Francisco? Nope, we just got the Denver on this one. Still a decent date, better than the Philadelphia, but the San Francisco is the lowest for that year. Ooh, we got a 1959 Denver right there. Very nice. Super beat up, so it's not super nice, but it's kind of nice. Ooh, look at what we got right here. We got a 1955, which what looks like, sorry, it looks to be a lamination error on the face of it. You can kind of see the pivoting on it, and yeah, that definitely looks like a lamination error. I wonder what the mint marker is going to be. 1955 Philadelphia, very nice. And it looks like it's a really weak strike too, like there could be some grease in there as well. But yeah, that's a really nice find right there. Let's go ahead and put this one to the side. Alright, we're getting into the 45th roll. What do we got right here? We got a 1957, and this one's going to be from Denver. Nice. Alright, we're getting into the last two rolls of the box. Can we get at least one more low mintage coin out of each roll? And I'm really hoping to either find a foreign as well, or a 2009, since I have not seen one yet. So other than that, let's get through these last two rolls so we can get to the conclusion. And I don't think I'm seeing anything in this second to the last roll. So other than that, let's go ahead and move on to that last and final roll. Alright, we're getting into this last and final roll right here. What can come out of it? Can we get a buffalo nickel? That would be absolutely the cherry on top for the box. So let's hopefully get that, but I'd be okay with anything that we get. So let's go ahead and open it up and see. See, look, we just need this right here, but about 70 more years later, or yeah, before. Dang. Doesn't look like we got anything on the last run through the box or last roll through the box. So other than that, I am going to double check it real quick and then we'll move on to the conclusion. Alright, and we're down here at the conclusion and we have our 2005s and 2004s. We have the 2005s up top and the 2004s at the bottom. We have the Bison, the Ocean and the View of Joy, the Lewis and Clark Keelboat, and the Louisiana Purchase. And then, if we come down here, here are all the common dates that we found today. Even the nickel that we found in the 30s is a common date. So this 1939 is a Philadelphia, and it's the most common for that year. And then we have a 1940 Philadelphia, a 1949 Philadelphia. We have a 1957 Denver. We have 4 1958 Denvers. And then we have 2 1959 Denvers. And then we come right up here. So we have a 1946 Denver and a 1948 Denver. And these ones are going to be at 60 million or under 60 million minted right there. And then we have a heaping pile of 2024 Ds right there. There is 27 of them. So I'm 13 coins off of a full roll. That's pretty good right there, seeing as most of these will probably go for about $2 or $3 if I wanted to sell them. And then Same thing right here. These are under 40 million minted. So we got a 1956 Philadelphia. And then we have a 1947 San Francisco. And then we have two of them right here under 20 million minted. So we have a 1946 San Francisco, and we have another 1946 San Francisco right there. Love to see me those San Francisco mint marks. And then if we come right up here, so here's the best of what we got, and we'll start with the, what you could say is the worst of the three up here. So we have this 1942 war nickel right here, and it's from Philadelphia. This one's going to be under 60 million minted, so it's not so great, but it is a piece of silver. Always love getting that silver. And then we have this 1951 San Francisco right here, which has a mintage of under 10 million. I think it's like 7.7 million. It's an absolutely insanely low number. And then same thing with this one, but this one's the best one of the entire box. So we got this 1955 Philadelphia right there. And the reason why I say this one's the best of the box, it is also under 10 million minted. It's about that 7.7, 7.6 range. And if you can't see already, it's got nice lamination error going right across the face of it. Absolutely beautiful looking. And it looks like it's got some kind of greasing error. Maybe some grease got in the hub when it was getting pressed. But yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful coin right here. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, I could ask for a 1950 Denver, but we won't go that far as going into the 2 million range just yet today. So, other than that, though, let's go ahead and move on to the score sheet. Here's the Buffaloes. The other side of the Buffaloes that was missing. Coin sheet. And here's the extra Canadian score sheet. Now, alright, so we're down here at the score sheet, and we're on Season 2, Box 15 of our nickels right here. And we had 10 over 60 million for 10 points, 3 under 60 million for 6 points, which is including that war nickel, 29 under 40 million for 145 points, which consists mostly of those 2024 Denvers. And then we had 2 under 20 million for 20 points, 2 under 10 million for 50 points, and then we had 1 war nickel, which adds 10 points for the silver content. And then we had a total points of 241 points on this box. That's an absolutely great box right there. Anything over, I'd say 75 points is a really good box. So other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, J-Dog out.